Slave DiBiase.
What's going on, y'all? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is another live sesh with the Offenders Initiative podcast. I am your illustrious host for this sesh, Slave DiBiase, aka Victor Von Slay, aka Slay Daniel Richards, aka Tony Spark, aka got so many shades they thought I had a lazy eye. And yeah, we here, man. Very, very good afternoon. You could have been anywhere in the world for your 420 sesh, but you're here with your boy. I apologize for being 5 minutes tardy, but I am here, y'all. Y'all see the caption. We had Offset getting shot at a Florida casino. I'm hearing about that. We also got The Boys final season premiere. They dropped 2 episodes on us, y'all. We about to get into it. And Daredevil Born Again, season 2, episode 4, once again, peak. This is a good year to be a nerd. This is a good year. Everything is going the way it's supposed to. But without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you're smoking on, what you're smoking out of, i.e., is it a bong? Is it a joint? Is it a leaf? What kind of leaf, bong, paper joint is it? And tell me where you're from. Give me the strain, give me what you're smoking out of, and tell me what you're from, where you're from. Salute to everybody that digests this content, whether religiously or in passing. I appreciate you, and even if you don't smoke, I just fuck with you for fucking with your boy, man. But without further ado, man, we're hearing about Offset getting shot at a casino. I'm unfamiliar with this situation, but All Urban Central got something on it. Let me take a look right quick. Let's see. Share this with y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. And let's get into it.
The story just went absolutely left because reports are now coming in that Offset was allegedly shot near the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, Florida.
Gun violence here in the casino in Hard Rock. He's still going. He's still mad. They got this guy detained. He shot a guy. The guy did shot.
Look at the whole situation, y'all. You at a casino and can't even act right. How you at a casino getting shot? Whose debt did you not pay? That's the only way you're at somewhere where it's that amount of money getting tossed around and you getting shot at, as if you at somebody's casino and you owe somebody some money. That's the only way I could see somebody getting shot at an establishment like this. You know what I'm saying? Then are we not checking folks before we go into the casino anymore? We not doing that no more?
Oh my God.
And according to multiple confirmed reports, he is currently in stable condition. Now, let's be clear. This is not a rumor gossip page. Offset team reportedly confirmed that he was shot and is now receiving medical treatment at the hospital. Police says that this happened in the valet area outside the casino around 7 p.m., and the injuries are being described as non-life-threatening. They also reported detaining 2 individuals while the investigation is still ongoing. So right now, nobody knows who fired the shots, what the motive was, whether this was targeted, or if this even started from some type of altercation outside of the casino. Now, what makes the story even crazier or hit home is because we just reported just a few days ago, Offset was spotted in a casino. And in the casino, a fan was...
Why is he always being spotted in a casino? I've heard various artists saying they always seeing Offset in the casino. Does he possibly have a little gambling problem that I don't know about? Is there possibly a gambling problem that I don't know about? What's going on here?
Was trying to get a picture, which Offset declined because he said he was alone and he wanted to make sure that he was safe at the casino.
He argued with Offset, y'all.
See, that's why when you see these artists and these movie stars out, man, all that trying to get a picture and trying to get a selfie with them and all that, bro, I wouldn't even do it. I hit a yo, what's up, Offset? Keep it moving and all that, because now you putting yourself in a position to be Curry. Yo, man, can I get a picture with you? No, you got to read the energy, man. You got to read the energy. A lot of these cats aren't in it for the love of the fan base that they got. They in it for the money. So if they can keep getting money all day long, but don't have to interact with no fans, don't have to take no selfies, don't have to write no autographs, they'd be just fine doing that.
A picture, goddamn, nigga, you ain't that much of a celebrity, bro. You ain't that much of a celebrity, bro. That's only guy for a picture. By myself. I'm not supposed to a picture. Goddamn, we black people.
And that's why this is hidden.
That's so crazy, right? You could buy all that fool's records, but you want a picture with him and he telling you, no, I'm by myself. Now, nobody's obligated to do nothing, but there's, you know what I'm saying, two sides to every story.
Extra hard online right now.
Yo, Offset, let me get a pic. Offset, let me get a pic. Oh, Offset. Oh.
Then on the little TJ side, people also remember that TJ himself survived a near fatal shooting back in 2022 after being shot multiple times in New Jersey.
Bro. Prayers in the chat, bro. Everyone put a prayer emoji in the chat, bro. No fucking way, bro. All my life I didn't know. All my life I didn't know. That's crazy, bro. You gonna make it through, my brother.
What I've been told officially.
See all that weird gangster shit that's all motherfuckers gonna hit you with in the comments. You gonna make it through, my brother.
Is that both people were shot. I did talk to the little TJ team. I hit Offset directly, hoping he's good. He hasn't responded. I'm just hoping these are non-life threatening injuries, no matter where it happened, right?
So now you got two artists whose names are both tied to past gun violent incidents, and social media is instantly pushing the story everywhere. Right now, prayers for Offset as more details drop on who was detained and what actually led to the shooting. This story is definitely going to keep developing, and we're going to keep you guys posted.
We thought Offset got pum by a disgruntled fan. Guess who they say he was in a scuffle with? Little TJ.
No.
Hey.
Your homeboy shot you? Is this the male version of the Megan Thee Stallion story that got Tory Lanez locked up right now? Your homeboy shot you?
Hey, word on the street, this is all alleged. They say that Offset, Lil TJ finally met. Him and Offset got hand in hand. Offset said there's too much going on in Atlanta. Atlanta need a W. Say he whooped Lil TJ. They say after the whole situation, goddamn, this Offset tried to walk off, and Lil TJ felt like goddamn Rico from Paid in Full and shot Offset in the ass.
No.
Say they got
nah. He paid in full. He training day him. You shot me in the ass. Oh man. This is all allegedly equipped. Nah, this is crazy. Your homeboy shot you?
Lil TJ in the back of a cop car. Lil TJ, you couldn't take the whooping? Oh, man. Listen, I don't know what's going on in the rap industry. I think we all need to just start listening back to R&B, because these people ain't who they say they is.
Bro, not gonna lie. You might be right about that one. It might be time to take it back to R&B. That's number one. Number two, have y'all noticed like the last few years when it comes to like Black Hollywood and hip hop, like a lot of crazy shit be coming out that we be finding out about these people, man. Stuff that we never knew before. It's just popping out now. You be like, yo, man, y'all got all that money and y'all still a bunch of weirdos getting into weirdo shit.
Y'all, well, this whole time I'm thinking it's a disruptive fan. They wanted to probably take a picture of Offset saying I'm gambling. This seeing the op, whooped his op ass, walking off, think it's over. Then little TJ popped him in the
Oh, little TJ, he the ops. Oh, so TJ just couldn't took his whooping. That's what it was. Oh, that's sad to see. You can't take your L, young boy. So you pulled out a gun and shot some damn body. That's why I stay in the house. That's why, or keep it on you. One of the two.
Lord jeez. Listen, y'all. We gonna get some updates, but apparently they said that allegedly Lil TJ popped too. I don't know if that's true or not, but all I know is that it was a fight before. I'll update y'all when I get some more information. Boy, hip hop down there through. I'm just a messenger.
Nah, that might actually be a thing. Like I'm telling you, these last few years, a lot of weird stuff has been happening in hip hop, Black Hollywood, a lot of weird stuff. How does Uncle Murder keep coming up with material to rap about every year for the year wrap up? He ain't missed a beat not 1 year. Imagine how he finna go in this year. Man, please, bro.
Flexing the watch. This bitch, we did $1 million. That's what that cost. We did.
That boy got him a gambling problem in it. Fan spots Offset and Bobby Shmurda hanging out at the Hard Rock. Okay.
We're hanging out with the rappers, man.
It's not as scary. Almost got me. The match each other go pow. Both of us, no security. We outside.
See, you gamble to pay your rent. We gamble for fun. So when we lose, we laugh about it. We wake up the next morning, pull out an M, and we're back at it.
Is that your money? Is that your money? I've been hearing certain things. That's a good question. Is that your money? I hate when a nigga flash somebody else shit now. Is that your money?
Back at it. I wish we could do that. Just me, raw and uncut. You know what I mean? I just wanted to give some context to what my brain be thinking. You know, it's a blessing, man. I just put on what I like.
Yeah.
Shh.
Hey, yo, it's 2026. I turned 25 this year. You broke, stay away from me. I'm not going there. No bum ass 2026 and the rest of my life.
I ain't gonna be no hater. Let me go.
You made it to 2026 and you got no money. Congratulations. You a bum ass nigga and it's your fault. Stay away.
Did he give you your money back?
I don't know. Nigga, he told me to get that shit back in blood.
And Offset and Lil TJ were.
Whoa. So I'm getting some context here. Offset owed Lil TJ some money and they finally seen each other in person. After you done told a nigga on the phone, get it back in blood. Nigga hit you with that nigga Lil TJ hit him with the Snoop Dogg off a Baby Boy. You was awfully tough on the phone back there, nephew. They saw each other and I'm guessing it went down. Now, Offset got the best of Lil TJ. TJ came back with the 555. That's crazy. Everybody going to jail. Love it.
That shit back in blood.
And Offset and Lil TJ were supposedly both shot. TMZ first reported that Offset was shot. And I got some pretty good sources that confirmed to me that there was another person who was injured, and supposedly that person is Lil TJ. There's multiple people in custody, and police at this time, they're working to try to figure out what led to what happened. A lot of things to get to. We don't know the current status of both rappers at this moment. It's been reported that it's a leg shot when it comes to Offset. And it's supposed to be a non-life-threatening wound. But at this point, because he was transported to the hospital, we don't know the full details. Okay? Lil TJ is a little bit more elusive. Of course, again, I have a direct official source, heavily weighted, that confirms it. However, I did also talk to his team, and his team, while confirming that there might have been an incident, they weren't at liberty to tell me or they, it's a lot of things going on. This is actually.
Stop talking crazy to folks on the phone and online talking about get it back in blood. If you in that entertainment business, the world is really a small place. You will run into niggas again, and you're gonna have to stand on what you said. That shit's so crazy, bro.
Actually happening right now. So people are in custody right now. This probably happened like an hour ago. And they aren't confirming what my other source confirmed, but it is being confirmed. It's one of the best stories I could have.
All right.
Welcome back to New Rockstars.
That was all by way of all Urban Central. Salute to them and everything that they did over there. You got Offset getting shot over what it sounds like a possible gambling debt that he owed to Lil TJ, and he didn't pay up. You can't tell a man get it back in blood, bro, because when you see somebody next, you don't know how they are gonna carry you. Some people die to prove that they not a punk. Gotta watch out. Kind of puts you in a lot of dangerous situations, man. But tell me in the comments, man, how y'all feeling about that one. But on to the next one. Yo, The Boys final season, the premiere of the series finale, season 5. They dropped 2 episodes on us straight out the gate. That's 2 episodes full of crazy ass Homelander and crazy ass Billy Butcher. How we feeling about that? Is there anybody here that watches The Boys, man? Tell me in the comments who's your favorite character on The Boys, man. But yeah, the first 2 episodes of season 5, they have dropped it. This is the final season. Everything is coming to a halt. That means we're going to get a lot of twists and turns and a lot of deaths. One I predicted myself if you go back and look at one of my earlier lives. But let's check it out. This is by way of Brain Pilot. Don't forget to give them a like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all keep lighting up, man, and we're gonna keep at it.
Ruling the country, his mind has now entered a state where it's even more unpredictable than before, and with loneliness being his biggest fear. He's more alone than ever following a certain death at the end of episode 2. But did he really die? Well, let's dive into the first 2 episodes of the season, break them down, and explain the ending. Here is The Boys.
Okay, The Boys season 5, episodes 1 and 2, ending explained by Brain Pilot. Yo, I'm telling you, this is spoiler country around here, Jack. Don't get mad, get sad, or go watch it for yourself. I done watched it, and we off to watch it here now.
Season 5, episodes 1 and 2, ending explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Is Soulja Boy dead? Okay, so one of the biggest things to come from the ending of episode 2 is the question around if Soulja Boy actually died from the virus.
Soulja Boy popped his head up like the Undertaker from 1996. Worst case scenario is he's either not dead, and because he has the original version of Compound V that makes you basically live forever, he's just a little sick and they put him down a little bit. Or he's dead and it turned him into a zombie. Either one of those will not be good.
With Samir working with Butcher in secret on the virus to avenge Victoria Newman because Butcher led him to believe that it was Homelander that killed her, not him.
Yo. The opening of season 5, you see, and this is our first time seeing Butcher, right? Butcher is over here with Victoria Newland's family. Like, you remember when Homelander viciously murdered your family? Oh, it was so... He killed that woman. He's becoming a lot like Homelander, and I got an early prediction. Either he's going to kill everybody on the team, or the boys are going to have to come together and kill him at the end after he kills Homelander. Either Billy is going to kill the whole boys team, or they're going to turn around and put together a plan and put him away and kill him. That's my early prediction on this one. Because yeah, he's kind of a villain to me now.
Something which again showed just how similar Homelander and Butcher are, because Homelander also does that with all of the deaths that occur. Blame it on somebody else. And as we saw, he did that most specifically with A-Train in the second episode. With Soldier Boy being decanted and being tasked of going after Butcher, he was lured by Butcher into Rockhard's home with the intention of being the guinea pig to see just how potent the virus was. And
salute to Butcher for putting that whole plan together to get Soldier Boy, because he knew Homelander would be so weak. Either Homelander, he was going to send somebody else, his caliber, his tier of power, to come after them. So all of this was a great plan.
If it would work on Homelander, Soldier Boy would make the perfect test subject, because before Homelander, he was once considered the most powerful suit that there'd ever been. With Soldier Boy being trapped in there, we saw Rockhard slowly die due to being exposed to the virus, and with Soldier Boy getting the lesions that we were all too familiar with following the first season of Gen V, we saw that he dropped to the floor, with Mother's Milk confirming to Butcher that he was definitely dead. This was something that we all presumed was the case. However, with Homelander mourning his father after seeing him, when he turned his back, Soldier Boy rose up with his eyes still closed. These things
Is this about to be some superpowered zombie shit? Could they go that route?
Then put the question out there on if the virus was actually able to kill Soldier Boy, or if it didn't, what the hell did it do to him? If it didn't kill him, then we instantly know that it's not going to be strong enough to kill Homelander.
Or maybe after you faint and get all the lesions and all that, it just turns you human and takes away your powers. I was talking about it with my wife, and my wife says Homelander, his biggest thing is she doesn't want to see him die. She wants to see his powers be taken away from him. I said, that's actually kind of interesting. That's actually kind of interesting to think about. Don't kill him, just turn him into a human and lock him up. Oh, that would be crazy.
The way that Soldier Boy sat up, it didn't seem natural in the slightest. His eyes were closed, and when thinking back to when he died, it genuinely did look like he took his last breath. So personally, I think he is dead. It made me wonder if the virus that he inhaled, when mixed with maybe a premium type of V, could it end up reacting in a way where it's able to live on in its host and ultimately take control? The type of virus that Butcher and Samir were working on needed to be strong enough to wipe out Homelander, so it wasn't the version that we saw before. So I do wonder if there are going to be some kind of side effects of mixing this virus with a superior type of soup. It was said that the virus being released had the potential to wipe out all soups on Earth and all humans on Earth, but with us seeing that Frenchie, Huey, and Mother's Milk didn't have any traces of it in their system, that threat had been eradicated. Another theory around Soldier Boy sitting up at the end could be based around the fact that there could be a soup that was looking to move him. With him sitting up in an extremely unnatural way, could there have been a suit that was utilizing their powers to move him? They could have had invisibility, or could it have even been Marie controlling the blood that's in his system and getting him to move? The group might want to take Soldier.
Nah, I don't know. That's okay. I'm not mad at that being a theory, but either he's a zombie or that shit turned him into a human. That would be the only way that he would still be alive. Maybe this shit just turns all the superheroes. If it doesn't kill him, it turns him human.
Boy back so that they can analyze his corpse in a way where they could learn more about the virus. So I definitely think that he's dead and won't be returning. Homelander. Homelander's mind is in an even more damaged state than what it was when we left the show in season 4. Homelander has the very thing that he wants, control of the country. The Starlight sympathizers are nearly all in internment camps, and he's even passing laws where if memes are posted about him, then they get killed or thrown in.
What's your early predictions for how it's going to end for Homelander? There's no way that Billy's going to die, Billy Butcher's going to die, and Homelander's going to be left alive. The two of them just can't walk the earth together. I just don't see it. Do I see by mid-season 5 Homelander possibly taking over the country, or the earth, I should say, because he's got the country. He literally has the president and the vice president working for him, getting coffee and shit.
Camps. He has total control over the country, but as long as Starlight and Butcher are out there, he doesn't have total happiness because there'll always be a threat of somebody coming after him. Homelander wants people devoted to him, but at the same time, he hated the fact that people were fearful of him and that they would only...
People are fearful of you because you're a weirdo. Like, he's awkward. He's not used to being around people. He's got a God complex. It's not going to work.
Be loyal to him due to the fear of being killed. With the video of Flight 37 being released by Starlight, we saw how he was planning on killing all of the people at the conference.
They released the video of in season 1 when he let that plane full of people die. Somehow somebody got the footage and they released it during like some big political conference that Homelander was the host of. When I tell you my man's immediate thought was, I'm just going to laser everybody in the room. I was like, whoa, this is who y'all want in charge of y'all? This superheroes included. That's who y'all want in charge of y'all? My man immediately was like, laser everybody. It's over with.
But Sister Sage stopped him. So his first act is still to always resort to violence. When he was sitting in his quarters with corpses around him because somebody had previously liked a Starlight post, it showed just how fragile and insecure he still was. When Homelander was speaking over the coffin of A-Train and said, I guess the strongest man is always alone, it was him justifying to himself that because he's so different and superior to everybody else, there'd be nobody that would come close to truly understanding him. That's why there was genuinely a sense of upset with A-Train, because he didn't view him as weak and like a snake like the Deep and the new Black Noir. Even though Homelander's mind is in a completely fragile...
Nah, man. Homelander used to talk to A-Train like he wasn't shitting, like he would kill him at any second too. And A-Train was afraid of him. Everybody's afraid of Homelander. He's a psychopath, man. He does need to be stopped.
State and is resorting to desperate measures such as decanting his father. There are still moments of insecurities that pop up. Take when Homelander was standing inside of Soulja Boy's tank. He was almost trying to put himself into the mindset of his father, somebody who he believes is strong. And then also, when the president asked if Homelander wanted a glass of milk, his reaction was of complete embarrassment and instead wanted a Manhattan like Soulja Boy. So it showed that
Manhattan gonna burn his little young chest off because he don't drink. And he got Soulja Boy killed at the end of this episode.
he does have his insecurities and he's not quite as put together as he makes out he is. He's got the threat of Starlight and Butcher and the virus that is able to wipe.
Starlight was literally the MVP of when in the episode they went and rescued the whole team from the concentration camps that Homelander had put together. She was flying folks out of there, fighting and everything. Starlight was the MVP. Salute to her.
Him out, so he's definitely in a state of panic. The sheer amount of deaths that he caused in those first 2 episodes alone tell the story of that. Homelander truly believes that he's surrounded by idiots other than Sister Sage, and with him saying to the Deep that it should have been him that was dead, not his father, it leaned into that mindset even more. Sister Sage was disappointed when he saw that Homelander had decanted his father, as she knew that he did it for emotional reasons rather than practical ones. She basically got Homelander to promise that he wouldn't go crazy when Soulja Boy inevitably died, and he said that he wouldn't. But that...
Here's the thing. Sister Sage is cool, but again, sometimes when you know too much, it can get you hurt.
That was some definite foreshadowing for an all-out crazy Homelander to hit the streets and look to get revenge in the bloodiest way possible. A-Train's death. This was a moment that I actually found really upsetting. A-Train...
Okay, so I predicted earlier a few lives back that A-Train would probably sacrifice himself as a redemption by helping the boys in some sort of way, shape, or form, and he would be killed by Homelander. And I was correct. I just didn't know it was going to be in like one of the first goddamn episodes. Shit.
Has arguably had the most positive character development over the course of the 5 seasons, with the entire show opening with him killing Huey's girlfriend and him going on this journey of wanting to be a true hero.
Yeah. They gave him a a little Quicksilver moment, like how Quicksilver from the Fox X-Men universe, how he ran around the room and corrected certain things and all. Only he didn't do it. That's why I don't know, like if we're going live action and we're putting A-Train versus the Flash versus Quicksilver versus Sonic versus, you know what I'm saying, people like that. I don't know. A-Train kind of buns. He'll probably get left in the dust. He's probably the slowest person too. But yeah, they definitely gave him a little Quicksilver from the X-Men Fox universe montage of him running in slow-mo and looking at things. It was fire.
Character development over the course of the 5 seasons, with the entire show opening with him killing Huey's girlfriend and him going on this journey of wanting to be a true hero. That was the very man that he died as. Not only did we see him turn up to support Annie in breaking out Frenchie, Huey, and MM from the internment camp after originally declining, he saved Huey's life, which felt like a callback to Season 1 where he took his girlfriend's life, and he also avoided the girl that was crossing the road whilst trying to flee Homelander.
Yeah.
Something that he didn't do in Season 1 episode.
Yeah, he dodged the girl in the middle of the street. When I see him dodge the girl in the middle of the street, unlike when he ran through Huey's girlfriend in Season 1, I knew in this episode he was gonna die. I said, "Oh, they gave him the chance to make it right." The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, the one that was able to jump off the jump and catch Mary Jane before she died, and all of that.
The road whilst trying to flee Homelander, something that he didn't do in Season 1, Episode 1. It was avoiding the girl, which ultimately led him to drop his glasses, to slow down, and for Homelander to catch up with him. That scene where Homelander was chasing him was genuinely nightmare-inducing. The bright red eyes beaming towards him out of the darkness, and the fact that Homelander was keeping up with him made it feel like that level of intensity was truly there.
If there was ever a time for A-Train to have tried to run his heart out, it would have been that time. Homelander would have never caught me if I'm supposed to be the fastest man alive.
All throughout Season 4, we saw that he was battling with himself, and it was in that season where he found his heart and knew that he wanted to be an actual hero, not just the poster boy of one. Within the first episode of Season 5, when the Deep was going after him and his family, he told him that he could see the fear that the Deep had of Homelander, and that was once him and that he needed to leave. With the Deep peeing his pants at the end of Episode 2 at the fear of Homelander, it showed that A-Train was right. The lack of respect that Homelander has for the Deep is so clear to see, and he's only there because of fear. A-Train said to Homelander in his final moments, "What was I so afraid of? You're nothing. Take away those powers, and what are you? A sniveling loser." With Homelander...
Go on, call back to what? What he said? He did ask him. He did say to his face, he said to Homelander's face,
has for the Deep is so clear to see, and he's only there because of fear. A-Train said to Homelander in his final moments, "What was I so afraid of? You're nothing. Take away those powers, and what are you?
Take away those powers." I'm telling you, that's going to be a callback. We might not get Homelander dead, but we might get him turned into a full human, which would be way worse than what he would ever. He'd rather be dead than be a human, I think. I'm telling you, early prediction.
Sniveling loser. With Homelander crying as he said that, it was quite literally perfect. A-Train was laughing at Homelander as he knew that he was going to die, and I just feel like it was the perfect way for the character to go out. A-Train's brother even said to him that their mother would have been proud of the person that he became, and do you know what? I'm even proud of him too. Butcher. What I'm seeing more and more of as the show has been going on is that Butcher and Homelander are more alike than they realize. And to be fair, Homelander even said that although he's never seen Butcher as his equal, he respects him for the fight that he's always put up. Butcher is very much ride or die at this point, and he doesn't care if he dies, if the Supes die, or if the entire planet ends up dying. He just wants to look Homelander in the eye as he eventually lays there dying and say that he won. Butcher was the sole person along.
What kind of whole shit is that? He just wants to lay there dying and look Homelander in his face just to say, "I won." So you'll sacrifice the whole planet just to beat this one guy? Yo, bro, that's a little crazy to me.
With Samir that was working on developing the virus to an even more deadly state where it would have the potency to wipe out Homelander. It was only because he saw the leak that Huey, Frenchie, and Mother's Milk were going to be killed that he got back together with the group and knew that it was time to initiate that phase of the plan. Like Homelander, Butcher is a deeply disturbed and troubled individual, mainly because of his childhood and the dark relationship that he had with his father. So much so that before he killed his father in episode 1 of season 5, he said that he was quite literally turning into him. Huey said to Butcher in episode 2, "Is there any part of you left that's human in there?" And Butcher said,
Okay, I watched that episode 1, and I didn't know he killed his father. Thank you for putting me onto that brain pilot. I did not know Billy Butcher killed his father. That's how you know this is about to be the end of this show. Everybody dying. Nobody got job security. Anybody could die. And yeah, they got a comic book that goes with this show, but that's not to say they won't put their own twist on it and write it the way that they want to write it, in case maybe they want to have somebody come back for a spinoff or something like that. So there's no telling what could happen in this final season.
nothing back to it. Butcher has quite literally lost all humanity over the course of the 5 seasons, and like what we saw in the previous season where he killed Vicky Newman, I think he's going to cross some other lines in this season as well. He's so blinded by killing Homelander, just like how Homelander is so blinded by wanting to kill Butcher and Starlight, that any other lives that are lost in the process are most likely just merely viewed as collateral by him. Butcher has changed so much as a character over the 5 seasons, and with the ending moment of him giving his dog some medication, that was the softest and most tender we've seen him in the past few seasons of the show. I feel him losing his humanity made him no longer care for anybody. It's just his hound that he can show any kind of emotional outpour to. I would say that there were definitely some cool scenes with Butcher fighting in this episode. When he got a hold of Cindy, the suit that feels so powerful because she can make somebody
he did her dirty. That's all I'm gonna say.
Explode from afar. I like that. Plus, I also liked it when he was standing there one-on-one against Soldier Boy and also Homelander. It's nice to see Butcher finally hold his own now that he has the powers. Starlight. Starlight's arc in this season seems like it's going to tie into what Kamiko said to Frenchie, where she said how their deaths might be the way that they make amends for all of the lives that they've taken. Starlight was struggling with the Starlighters being rounded up and put into internment camps because they were basically all being put in there because of her fights. A fight where innocent people were dying and she would end up surviving because she's a soup. She kept getting the notifications on her phone when the pockets around the country would be raided and killed, so she would see in real time her support dwindling, and that singular notification essentially represented a ton of lives that were dying whilst fighting for her. She also couldn't look Huey in the eye, and she didn't try to rescue him sooner than what she did because she couldn't stand to admit to him the terrible things that she'd done over the past year that they'd not been together. Starlight has changed over this year, and a prime example of that was the fact that she agreed that 10,000 soup lives weren't worth more than 8 billion human lives on the planet. So she no longer cared if she lived or died in the fight to rid the world of the tight grasp that Homelander had on it. Frenchie, Kamiko, and Mother's Milk. Kamiko can now speak, which is something.
Kamiko can now speak. She gone. Yeah, the last season, Kamiko can speak again. She out of there. Frenchie is tied to her like a shadow. He out of there. And Mother's Milk, you know what I'm saying? He's just like a rider. Yeah, my earliest impression, my earliest guess is if we're going to have any deaths, it's going to be those three. Those three he just mentioned. Kamiko, Frenchie, and They out of here.
Something that I felt was an interesting choice to make in the final season. Personally, I don't know if it's needed because she'd been without a voice for so long, but I suppose it does make a refreshing change. Mother's Milk seemingly has become reliant on alcohol due to being away from his family, and Frenchie wanted to do all that he could to get Kamiko away from the virus, to which she turned down the option of running away because she felt like she had fought this far, so she had to see it through, even if it cost her her life. Mother's Milk is probably the character that showed the most humanity in these first 2 episodes as he allowed the Countess of Crows to go free after she pleaded for her life. I feel like this is most likely something that'll come back to bite him with Butcher. He seems to be struggling in silence after being in the internment camp for the past year, and I feel like we're going to see that struggle developing more as the episodes go on throughout this season and as he continues to be away from Janine and Monique. My review of the episode. I thought the first 2 episodes of Season 5 of The Boys were really strong. With us not having the show for 2 years, I was wondering how it would feel being thrown right back into it, but it felt seamless and it picked back up in the most perfect way possible. These episodes really did feel like it marked the beginning of the end. There was no easing us in. It was just straight back into seeing just how chaotic Homelander's mind was and that he was so unstable. The sheer amount of death that he caused in those 2 episodes, the hitting himself, the panic that he had, and the lost look that was...
Those first 2 episodes of The Boys season 5 are fire. I'm glad it's back. I'm glad it's back. This whole breakdown was fire. We got to hear the psyche of some of the characters in this show, because it's there's a lot of action in The Boys universe, but it's more so the dialogue that grabs you with everything. It's more so the dialogue, so then it makes the action even crazier when something does pop off. So it's like, it's Game of Thrones-ish.
Sitting behind those eyes spoke 1,000 words. We feel like we've seen a madman in Homelander the past few years, but I think we're about to be introduced to a version of him that's going to lose complete control. When it came to the performances in the opening to Season 5, I thought they were all really strong. All of the arcs felt like they had the same treatment as they did before, and seeing Butcher and Homelander's stories essentially mirror each other even more. It's something that I'm just excited to sit back and watch. A-Train's death at the end of episode 1 was a moment that I didn't expect to hit as hard as what it did. It was emotional, and seeing A-Train go out as the hero...
Yeah, so they got A-Train out of there in episode 1. I thought it was going to be like one of the last episodes, like on some power shit. They got A-Train out of there episode 1. Snap, neck, gone. Brothers of Destruction, you out of there. It was nasty work. But your man went out like a G, though, I ain't gonna lie.
Always wanted to be. It was something that was inspiring to watch. It was bold for the show to kill off a main character in the first episode of the season, but I totally respected. Seeing Ashley's back of the head reveal at the end of the second episode was a moment that made sense as to why we kept hearing her inner thoughts throughout the episodes. She's vice president and she's way out of her depth. She falls into the category of only really acting the way that she is because she's scared of Homelander, and I do feel like she could end up dead by the end of the season. Anthony...
Do we feel like she's going to be out of there by the end of the season? I could see that. I could see her ending up helping the boys in some sort of way, shape, or fashion as like a last-ditch effort to not go out as a shitty person. Homelander's going to find out, and he's going to laser her. I do see that happening. And it's going to be funny because whatever lasering he does, it's going to go through the front of her head and then come out the back of her head, which is the other like version of her in the back of her head. That's going to be crazy to see. I'm here for it, though.
Acting the way that she is because she's scared of Homelander, and I do feel like she could end up dead by the end of the season. Anthony Starr as Homelander is arguably one of the best castings in television in recent years. He embodies the role of Homelander so well, and he's so frightening to watch, but also so comical as well. I don't think there's anybody else that's out there that could have played this role better than him. In terms of the pacing of the episodes, I thought we moved through them quite well. The first one was a bit choppy and all over the place, but that's because Butcher was doing a trip around the world, rounding everybody up and dealing with his past. But the second episode amended that when it was all set in the same place. Overall, I thought these first 2 episodes were up to the usual quality that we've come to be used to with the boys throughout the past few years. I'm kind of glad that we're only getting 1 episode a week now for the rest of the season, because as much as I do like getting 2 in 1, I'd rather the show last just that.
Hold on, man. Hold on. I don't know. Like, that means if we're getting 1 episode for the rest of the season, instead of them dropping 2 right now and then dropping one, and then the last 2, that means the rest of these episodes that they're going to drop every week, they got to be writing up. They got to be better than the last. I'm here for it. Let's see.
A little bit longer, so we don't have to say goodbye to it just yet.
Salute to Brain Pilot, man, for that bit of information. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The premiere of the series finale of The Boys. First 2 episodes drop. You can go find that on Prime Video. You can also catch up and watch the rest of it, so you can be right in here and we can have these little talks when I light up. Because I'm gonna keep up with all of those episodes all the way to the very end. Okay. But on to the next one. Daredevil Born Again season 2. Daredevil Born Again season 2. It has not let up off the gas. Salute to Marvel and Disney for what they did with this. Who's ever doing the writing? Bravo. Who's ever doing the fighting choreographing? Bravo. The way that you're switching colors when certain characters come on the screen, almost making it comic book like. Bravo. And this last episode that dropped today did not disappoint either. Let's get into a little bit of a breakdown of it. This is by Sammy J Reacts. Hold on, y'all. Salute to the boy Sammy J. We're going to take a look at what he got going on. Don't forget to give him a like, comment, and subscribe. We react. We don't steal. And then let's get into it.
About. That's why Bullseye's the GOAT. The GOAT. Because, oh my God, what did I just watch? That's got to be one of the most insane endings. Fuck it. One of the most insane episodes of television that I've seen in a really long time. Like, I'm just sitting here itching to watch the next episode. And the amount of primal screams I let out during this episode.
That's why Bullseye's the GOAT. The GOAT. You heard what he said. Not going to lie to you. This episode really made me like the Bullseye character even more. I just put a video out on my channel asking, should Bullseye be placed with the Thunderbolts after all of this?
So you would think there was a homicide happening in my house because we had Daredevil, Bullseye, and Kingpin saying, I'm gonna whoop him and whoop him and whoop him and whoop him. Because so much happened this episode, so much drama, action, suspense, and some deaths. But I'm gonna be recapping and reviewing the episode with spoilers. So this is your spoiler warning. You have been warned. But either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta rah about it.
Salute to Sammy J.
First things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. But for real, we open up this episode with the Marvel Television logo being blue instead of red, signifying that, yeah, we're taking the blue pill. We are entering the twisted mind of Bullseye. And by the twisted mind, I mean we
see what I mean by they changed the colors of certain situations to let you know what characters they were honing in on. They have a blue for Bullseye. They have a red and a black sort of for Matt Murdock, Daredevil. They have a white and black for Kingpin. So you just got to notice certain things.
Yeah, we're taking the blue pill. We are entering the twisted mind of Bullseye. And by the twisted mind, I mean we get a get ready with me with Dex, Benjamin Poindexter. That motherfucker like flipping eggs, doing push-ups, doing his bed perfectly in his 10 by 10 apartment, fucked up tile and everything. All he be doing is thinking about how he's gonna kill people with what items today. But we get to see that a nice regular Tuesday for Bullseye is still sadistic as fuck as he goes into a diner, orders a banana milkshake, sucks the soul out that shit, one taps that milkshake. And by the way, it's very important to me that it's a banana milkshake because he had banana protein in his house. Like, who likes banana flavored protein and milkshakes and shit? Dex, only a psychopath. But they also had him playing with the coin in his hands, just like season 3 of Daredevil. Bro, these new creatives that took over season 2, they understand it. They fucking get it. As he basically calls in a bomb threat by saying, I think Frank Castle's here. Oh no, he has a gun. Which I thought was weird why he said Frank Castle at first, but once we get to
it wasn't weird when he said it to me because it's like Frank Castle is still the Punisher. Yeah, he's a vigilante and he's supposed to be a good guy, but he's still a murderer. And all police are on the lookout for him. So he knew they would come fast. Frank Castle with a gun, yeah. The cop around the corner is going to be there.
Towards the end of the scene, it made sense because the AVTF has this place surrounded until they get to the man with his hands down at the counter with the straw in his. Unfortunately, this AVTF member said, yo, milkshake, get your hands up. But unfortunately, y'all met Bullseye in the worst possible location. Bullseye at a diner is worse than Thanos with the Infinity Stones. And I love how as soon as he turns and the AVTF member looks at him, he drops his gun, drops his guard, and takes a fucking toothpick to the eyeball as Dex just starts mowing these motherfuckers down with New York State of Mind playing in the.
Bruh. The way that he made forks bounce off of ceilings and floors and tables and stab people in their necks and eyes and knees and ass and all of that. It was crazy. Salute to the way that they are, putting more and more of that real lore from the MCU version of Bullseye versus the Netflix version that lean more into a little bit more realism. The MCU version of Bullseye might have those those serious powers where he can bounce anything off of anything. And, you know, now they can put the extra sauce on it because they in the Marvel Cinematic Universe officially. I'm liking it though. That scene alone with Bullseye killing all those guys, chef's kiss, I'm telling you.
Background of when he goes over the counter when they start unloading the clip on him, he says, "That was a great milkshake, by the way." Then when he's basically done killing them all, he looks over at this dude who brought his dog to a diner and says, "Hey, that's unsanitary. Don't do that." As he just murdered a bunch of ABTF members. Bro says, "Please don't kill me." He says, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm one of the good guys," with this like fucked up, like he doesn't know how to smile type shit. As he grabs a fucking lobster claw and throws a 99-mile-per-hour fastball right down the plate at this ABTF member's head. He killed him with a big meaty claw. Then he grabs a bottle of ketchup with that inhale it as he leaves his symbol on the door, the bullseye. Now it makes sense.
If he would have put that shit would have been crazy.
That's why he called in Frank Castle. He wants him to know that ain't nobody could do this but me. Y'all better put me up those ranks of those vigilantes. As we cut to the BB report masquerading as the Mayor Kingpin leaks, they leak all the information about what happened with Red Hook in the last episode. As we see, they found a new hideout and everyone's giving their own testimonials to what Fisk did. As Jack Duquesne, the swordsman, bids adieu to Daredevil, he says, "I'm getting way too old for this shit." And when Matt says, "That's a shame, we could use people like you and me," he says, "Like you?" He says, "Nah, you're not a hero anymore. You're a symbol. Hope." But we see that he actually gives him an account detail to help fund whatever they need to get done. Shout out Jack Duquesne, a real one. Ava Ayala, my bad. Angela Del Toro. It's so funny.
Jack Duquesne gave them a whole account for them to do whatever they wanted to do with the account. He says, "Take what you need. Don't even worry about the cost." So now the Resistance has funding. But I'm wondering, will the swordsman show up later this season and like help out in like a final battle type situation? That would be nice to see him, you know what I'm saying, comic book accurate, fake me out Zorro looking nigga show up at the last second to help Daredevil and him. I think that might end up happening.
That she's basically Ava Ayala, but her name is Angela Del Toro, whatever, I guess. But she steps up to the plate and Matt grabs her amulet and he's like, "You ready for that?" She says, "When did you know you were ready?" He starts hearing some shit. It turns out it was the first mate of the Northern Star sneaking around, but he says he's willing to do his testimonial. As he reveals all the information about what happened with Red Hook, all the weapons, the boat, it was all filed under the name Kingpin, which we then cut to Vanessa and Fisk. And again, this little moment of like, "Hey, let's get up out of here one last time. The governor's on my ass. Vanessa's going to do something about it." But unfortunately for Vanessa, they're telegraphing it. She keeps wearing red when he keeps wearing white.
See, and then they are telegraphing it, but I was more so looking at it like, why isn't she listening to him at all? He's saying, "I don't want you around all these public places. We still got one of the most deadliest guys in the world after you." You know what I'm saying? The bullseye, he's after you. She refuses to listen to the man while he's saying lay low. She done put the pistol in her purse to go talk to the governor. If the governor didn't talk the way she wanted her to, she was gonna pop the governor. Like, yo, Vanessa was tripping this entire episode, bruh.
She's going to end up becoming that red in his ledger. But we cut to Karen and Matt talking about how they're going to take the first mate's testimonial. They need an actual lawyer there present to make it like legit. She then gets the idea, Kirsten. And they also talk about how Fisk is going to be having a boxing match at Fogwell's gym to try to draw out Daredevil. Then Karen says, no, he's trying to draw out Bullseye. So Matt decides it's his mission to go hunt down Bullseye and stop him from doing the worst thing possible. And the flashbacks with the bigger aspect ratio to season 1 of his dad at Fogwell's gym meant something to me. As conveniently enough, Dex is watching the news report on the Mayor Fisk boxing match as he flicks his coin into the damn TV, breaking it. They were doing that in Hawkeye. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did. I need a Hawkeye versus Bullseye fight scene more than I need air. But we see the AVTF has raided Kirsten's office looking for information.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Hawkeye get that dude work. No, we're not even gonna do that. It'll be a good fight, but Hawkeye will put hands on him. We're not gonna do that.
He's like, man, what the fuck? Y'all can't be doing this shit. He's like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Fuck proud, man. Matt needs to punch his face again. And I'm sick of this Cole North, man. This ain't the Cole North I know. Bootlicker. They end up not finding shit anyway. As Mr. Charles is upset with Fisk and his people about what happened with Red Hook and brings some muscle along the way that unfortunately gets two-tapped by Buck. Thank you, Buck. I appreciate it.
Yo, Matthew Lillard came in that bitch talking greasy to the Kingpin. Kingpin was like, I'm not your in play. They wanted to show him something. It was just him and Buck. Buck had his hands up. Matthew Lillard brought 2 goons and they had their guns drawn. My man right there on the right, he had his hands up like, yo, I don't want no trouble. And he said, man, it's cool, man. Put your hands down. As soon as Buck put his hands down, he drew the Glock and took out both of the soldiers. He was like, you know, that's what I get paid dudes for. You know what I'm saying? That's what I pay dude for. Now, you going to get your shipment. Like I said, you going to get your shipment, ho nigga. I'm Mayor Kingpin. Don't ever question me again. That's basically the vibes he gave him.
That very much, Buck. He tells Mr. Charles to have patience. We cut to Karen recruiting Kirsten, as all she cares about is what happened to Matt. As Karen just says, don't worry, he's good. We need your help. She agrees. We then see that Vanessa has smoothed things over with the governor, as she's a sweet talker. We love Vanessa. I love this, but we pick up.
Nah. Hold on. Vanessa was going to smoke the governor. If she wasn't talking right, she was going to get her out of there and figure out what to do with the body. I think I'm playing. Vanessa's way worse than the Kingpin.
Talker. We love Vanessa. I love this, but we pick up with Matt going incognito mode, wearing an AVTF suit badge and everything. As he finds the coin that Dex was playing in, he notices it's from a very familiar church, as he can't help but smile. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take Matt Murdock back to church and born again. Let's fucking go. This flashback scene of him as a little kid in church almost brought a tear to my.
All right. Now, this flashback scene to Daredevil as a little kid, this is signifying that whoever is in the writer's office, you need to hire them again. They took the time to go back and realize that this is the same footage from the original Daredevil series, keeping in continuity, furthermore, making all of this canon. Salute to them, man. Hire those folks, put them in the movies. Let's go.
A fucking eye. We are so back. And him just standing in the middle of the damn church with the angelic aura raining down on him. It's just perfect. As he asks the father if a man came by who had this coin. Matt can obviously tell if he's lying or not. And father's like, I can't really tell you that. But his heart rate goes up and he eventually is able to help Matt find where Bullseye is. And I love how he gets his own little Bullseye moment when he flicks the coin up and lands perfectly into the other batch of coins. You then get a dope ass fight scene between Daredevil and Bullseye in Bullseye's apartment. So this motherfucker throws a floppy disk at Daredevil. They punch each other's faces at the same time on some Goku and Vegeta shit, anime style. I was like, oh my God.
Every time these two fight, it's always fire. Every time Daredevil and Bullseye fight, it's always fire. I don't get tired of seeing these guys fight, man. Especially now that they CGI it, MCU it, give it a slight comic book little twist to it so you can really see their powers and all of that. Yeah, I'm liking that, man. More hand-to-hand fights with folks that's supposed to have hands. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till I see Daredevil versus the Iron Fist. Let them get it popping one time. Daredevil versus Shang-Chi.
But then Bullseye's neighbor comes in and he holds her hostage. It's like, one good deed. Listen, what I did to your friend wasn't good. And Matt almost starts tweaking. He's like, don't say his fucking name. He says, listen, I needed to get my mind back. But one good deed, I'm going to do what you don't have the balls to do. Essentially, he's going to kill Fisk and Vanessa. But Matt's like pleading to him. He's like, no, please, you can't turn him into a martyr. Which Matt has a great point. If you kill Fisk now, the whole city's going to rally against his ideologies. But Dex throws the neighbor away and runs away. Steals a motorcycle. He hit a bike messenger. Knocked him down. Got that lick back for Tobey Maguire. And now we got the limp devil like, fuck. But we pick up with Kirsten taking the testimonial of the first mate, the confessional, whatever the hell you want to call it. They got it on tape. But unfortunately,
anybody that's been watching this show, do we feel like Kirsten's gonna die? You know, that Netflix street level little side of Marvel, like that shit ain't all, you know what I'm saying, rainbows and bubbles, nigga. Niggas die on that street level side. Do we feel like Kirsten's gonna die?
Of the first mate, the confessional, whatever the hell you want to call it, they got it on tape. But unfortunately, when he tries to make his way to the safe house, Buck is there. And yes, he's got aura. Perhaps I treated you too harshly, Buck. Fisk gets the good news about Buck taking out the snitch, knocks out, borderline kills his opponent. And as him and Vanessa are celebrating, demon on! Hide your wife, kids, children, everybody. Because Dex is here and he's killing all the AVTF members. As he just...
Yeah, so when Dex first walked in, I didn't know if he was just killing everybody that was in the room or was he just killing the anti-vigilante task force members, but he was just killing the soldiers. I said, okay, cool. So he really is trying to, you know, be different. He's like another Punisher, I guess. But no, yes, no, maybe, I don't know. Would you say Bullseye and the Punisher are kind of on the same level?
Starts mowing motherfuckers down, aura walking. He finds this glass snow globe of the Kingpin with the city that looks very sharp. He takes one nice glance at Kingpin, looking tough as hell as he throws up the fucking snow globe and tosses it at Vanessa. She does get a lick in though. She said, I packed that thing too, and shoots Dex. And Fisk breaks the snow globe.
Mind you, hold on. She definitely did hit that I packed that thing too. But before he got close, the Kingpin yelled to his mans, get my woman out of here. Get her out of here. That's what he did, right? She gonna, you know what I'm saying, shrug old boy off that was trying to get her out the ring. She pulled the and she got one off. She put a hole in in Bullseye's stomach. She caught him, you know what I'm saying? Bow, right through the abs. But in that 1 second of you trying to be tough instead of listening to Kingpin, it could cost you your life.
Thing too and shoots Dex, and Fisk breaks the snow globe before it gets to Vanessa, and all is good in the world. That bald-headed demon actually did some good. As we see the limp devil come in on the red carpet, Kingpin said, "I'll pack that thing too. I'm gonna kill him. I am not here to threaten you. I'm here to kill you." Then Matt's Billy Club comes in, knocking the gun out of fucking Fisk's hand, saving Bullseye. Like, what the fuck? Paralleling the scene from season 1 when he saved Fisk from Bullseye. Come on. Then he saves Fisk again when Bullseye's about to throw a dagger at Kingpin. He Billy.
How many times are this man gonna save these people that should be going? For real, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. Remember I told you there's certain people that are part of comics that they're so evil that I think they need to go. There is no sending them to jail or sending them to an asylum. No, bitch, you need to go. The Joker, you need to go. Lex Luthor, you need to go. Kingpin, you need to go. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Club tackles Bullseye out of Fogwell's gym as they break the window, land outside. Matt does the as Bullseye Dex says, I'm getting the fuck up out of here like the Undertaker. The AVTF are on their ass. But then we cut back to Vanessa and we see some shrapnel from when he broke the snow globe, hit her in the side of the head, really her brain. And this whole scene reminded me of Spider-Man 2. Yes, I'm going to find a way to mention Spider-Man 2 in every single one of my videos. But the Rosie, the glass breaking, killing her, as we just see Fisk crying over saying, "Someone get an ambulance." And it's in these moments where I'm reminded again and again that Vincent D'Onofrio is one of our greatest working actors ever, because the way he's able to bring the vulnerability to a demon like Fisk just makes me a little bit emotional. But I also love.
I'm going to tell you right now, Vanessa, and this is how you know Bullseye is so crazy. He threw that globe. He threw the globe in the air after being shot by Vanessa. The globe was supposed to hit her in her head so hard that it was going to crack her skull anyway and kill her, right? Kingpin saw it. He uses his fake-ass championship belt, smacks the globe out the way. It shatters into pieces, but he's so precise that one of the pieces hit old girl in the side of her head. This is the length of how they're showing Bullseye's powers. This is crazy. On top of the fact that the globe that he hit was in the shape of the city. So really it's on some, the city took your woman down. You let the city take your woman down. You chose the city over your woman. That's crazy.
Just how symbolic this moment is, because even though he tries his hardest to protect Vanessa, given the type of work that he's involved in, he's always going to find a way to get her hurt despite the shield he tries to put up. And ironically enough, it was his own damn self that killed her. But she low-key also got herself killed because of the whole Bullseye shit. Sad regardless, as we cut to black. Woo! I feel like I need a cigarette, weed, something to chill me out, because
Salute to Sammy J Reacts, man. Thank y'all for pulling up to the session today, man. Again, Daredevil, Born Again Season 2 has not let up off the gas. I'm thoroughly pleased with the writing, the action, the imagery, everything that I'm seeing in this new show. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching along with me. Tell me what's been your favorite. Tell me what's been your favorite episode so far, man. And I'm Fried Dot laid to the side. It's time to get up out of here, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The Offenders Initiative Podcast, man. We out.